So, hello everyone. So, for this part of the program, Lab number 9, we're going to make a program that will read the non-negative integer and will compute its factorial. And to start the program, of course, it is important to write these two, the hashtag include iOS stream and of course the using namespace std for our PC or for our computer to read all the syntax or the statements that we will put in our program. And of course, the int main so that we can start our program proper. Then next is the int. Our group inserted three variables, which is n, x, and y. Then I set the n is equals to 1 so that the values of n will start at 1. Then of course the out statement enter a negative integer and cin is n. So whatever you are going to type here in our statement, that will be the n. And of course, I also set the x will be equal to n. For example, nilagay mo sa cout statement mo is 5, then yung n mo of course is 5, then of course yung x mo is equals to 5 then. Then the y, I set it is equals to 1 so that it will start at 1. Then we're going to move on to the do while statement syntax. Then next is y is equals to y times n. I set the y is equals to y times n means this is the formula for the factorial. Then y times n. Yung y natin dito is naka-equals siya sa 1. Then yung n natin dito, kung ano yung tinype natin dito. And of course, I put a decrement dito, decrement statement para mag-start yung loop. For example, 5 yung nilagay natin dito. Then yung n natin is equals to 5. Then magdi-decrement siya, magiging 5 minus 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So y times 5, y times 4, y times 3, y times 2, y times 1. So magko-continue lang siya and that is the factorial. For example, the factorial of 5 is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that is why I put the decrement here so that it can do the factorial. Then while n is greater than or equal to 1, the loop will stop kapag nag-exceed na siya or nag-exceed na siya sa 1. So hanggang 1 lang yung nilagay ko dito because it's factorial. Then pag 0 yung nilagay natin dyan, of course, magiging 0 yung sagot kasi any number that will be multiplied by 0 is equals to 0. Then the out statement is the factorial of x, which is what we will put here. For example, 5, then 5 lalabas dito, is y. The answer of the factorial, ito, nilagay natin dito, sinet natin. Then end line. Then return 0. And I will show you the program so that you can understand it better. So here, this is the program. Wait, ulitin natin. F11. Here. This is the program. For example, ang ita-type, for example, kanina, ang type natin 5. 5, siya yung magiging n natin 5. Then the factorial of 5, which is yung x natin is 5 kasi inequal natin siya, is 120. And if you try to search it or compute it, the factorial of 5 is 120. And we will try another one. For example, 10. For example, 10. 10. Yan. Here is the factorial of 10. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 and so on and so forth. And here's the answer. And that's all for the program. It will simply compute the factorial of the non-negative integer that you will put here.
For the analysis for the program one thing to keep in mind when using the while loops is to ensure that the condition eventually becomes false. Otherwise, the loop will run indefinitely and cause a program to hang or crash. To prevent this, you can use a break statement or modify the condition inside the loop to eventually become false. And for the conclusion, do while loops can be useful in situations where you want to ensure that a certain block of code is executed at least once, even if the condition is not initially true. They are also useful when you need to perform some operation on a dataset, but you don't know in advance how many iterations you will need. That's all. Thank you.